back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port here on a Monday, and it's Barnes and it's Tony once again. What's going on, brother?
Not much, dude. Happy to be back in the saddle. Stoked to be back on the show with you, Brian. It's been, kind of crazy with the week off of the show. And of course, I mean, so much has transpired, dude. And obviously, NFL week 2 to go over. Stoked about that, regardless of how honestly the Jets are looking. It still is like, it's jam-packed Sunday. I mean, Red Zone, Hanson, all the games, it still is obviously great, very entertaining, even though, New York sports in general is just, at least maybe not so much for you, but for football anyway.
Yeah.
Just down in the dumps, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it feels like I just don't like it. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, I didn't think the Jets were going to make the playoffs anyway. So, I had those questions about Justin Fields, and obviously he gets hurt. But yeah, it's just like with the Jets. You always expect stuff to go wrong. So them being 0-2, the Giants, I thought that, and I'm sure, for people that are Giants fans, yesterday's loss was tough. And it's crazy. Like a couple things about this. So, first of all, that was probably the game of the day. Maybe you could say Broncos Colts was very good as well. But they were saying too, I think it just applied to in Dallas. But I don't know if you heard this stat or not, and this seems like something JD would do on one of his trivia questions. The last time Giants in Dallas was a 1:00 kickoff,
like
instead of 4:25.
Yeah. It's been like forever. What are we talking? Like 30 years?
Even
more,
longer.
Like 45?
35.
35?
Isn't that crazy? 1990.
That is wild.
So that's always just a popular one.
What's the deal with that?
It's just because, Dallas, especially with Parsons traded and stuff, no expectations there. And everyone thinks Giants are going to be dumpster fire.
Too,
obviously you could argue they are. But at least I would say, I don't know what, I don't think there really is a consolation prize, just because if you think about how bad they've been, since the middle part of Brian Dable's first season. But Russ thrown for 450, 3 scores. That touchdown with 30 seconds left where you thought maybe that would win it. It was like, that felt like watching Russell Wilson like 7 years ago.
Yeah, no. Dax had the Giants number 2. I think Dable's 0-7 against the Cowboys, I believe.
Yeah. And they're and do you know how many games in a row the Giants have lost to the Cowboys?
Is it 9? No,
9. Yep.
Dude. Not a good look.
Not
a good look at all, dude. But yeah, a lot to get it. How was your week though? You had Mike producing, Renee producing. How'd that go?
Everything was great. We did the dual grids every day.
Oh wow, dude. Okay.
Yeah, so that was good, and obviously, a lot of Yankee talk, which is always great, of course, and we sprinkled in some college football. So overall, it was great. But
did you talk any Mets?
So just for the picks, I did pick against them every time, and obviously I won because the only game they won was on Sunday. No picks for that. And that honestly, like I said, facetious this and that. But the way they have been playing, you couldn't blame me. Obviously, it just had to do what it had to do. I can imagine it's tough, but like I'm just thinking, knowing you, like you're at this point, even though you're disgusted, you just want to just win as many games as possible and just get in the playoffs and see what happens, or not?
That's really the only thing you're kind of clinging to at this point, is just get to the playoffs. Okay.
Yeah.
and then figure it out because obviously, yeah, dude, that the 8-game losing stretch, nothing was really good there, dude. Definitely very, very depressing week, that's for sure, dude.
Yeah.
Because I kind of like, yeah, obviously I was like editing all last week, but I had, I would have the games on the side, and it's just like, oh,
what is there to watch?
So what is there to watch? Like, why am I watching this? And it's brutal. I mean, it's one of the worst, dude. If it is like if they end up missing the playoffs, because I mean, obviously Padres are next. You have Chicago in there. You never know, Miami, Washington, whatever. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest collapses I've seen since I've been alive.
Like, you think it worse than what was it? 08?
08? Yeah. Yes, dude. I again,
even the Braves a couple years ago, same thing.
Yeah, no, I think so. It's just because I feel like at this point, and again, like 08 for me around that time, I was really young. Maybe I don't remember as much, but I mean, right now it feels like I feel like the Mets have never been having as much pressure to succeed right now and having a higher expectation than right now, at least in my lifetime. So I don't know, man. It just feels like that to me, if they do, which I mean, obviously it's a possibility. I do think they'll make the wild card still. But boy, dude, if they don't, I feel like, that'd be the biggest collapse I've seen the Mets have.
And it was funny. I was telling you on, what was it? Actually, I guess it was yesterday morning. It's just such a long day yesterday. It felt like forever. But I was talking with Josh and Kev about this with the Mets, and I think it really, all comes down to Stearns. And I kind of mentioned this to you, when he was first hired, kind of has some Cashman traits. But just, and Kev was kind of tight about it in our chat, but just saying, like, it's like just that he thought like you could just wing starting pitching, and when there was no reason to be constricted to a tight budget in that area. I mean, does it for you? I mean, obviously the season's not over yet, but I mean, does it really make you question whether he's the right guy? Because Kev's saying, he thinks that like it's like Cohen has thought that he's like the next Theo Epstein. You know what I mean? David Stearns. I mean,
yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, listen, I think that Stearns has the ability to adapt. I mean, you never know what happens this offseason, how he kind of changes, because obviously what he's doing now, I mean, you can't disagree. It's not working. I am looking at Stearns a lot in terms of what's wrong with this roster. I mean, just look at the last few series. I mean, against Philadelphia, Harrison Bader is raking against us. That was a guy that's on our roster. Right. Okay. And then you have David Robertson, who's pitching quality innings against us as well. That's a guy
who called that.
He was that was on the couch. That guy was available for us. Yeah. Not to mention also was on our roster.
Yankees, I wanted him to get him as well. I mean, that was a guy you knew. You knew what he is. You knew what he could do.
So it's like, and you were just, your bullpen was just bleeding out, So it just seemed like that you had an opportunity to make better moves, keep certain guys, center field, obviously big question mark still is. And it's like, Stearns did not do what he needed to do to fill those roles. And there were opportunities out there for him to do so. He thought differently, maybe saw something that, he thought whatever, but ultimately, the decisions so far have been wrong. It's tough, dude. And it's, oh my God. So, like I'm sitting here, I'm going to be blaming Stearns because he could have made better moves. Am I going to sit here and be like, this guy should be fired? I mean, if he doesn't fix it this offseason, then yes. But again, I think he has the ability to adapt. I think he does see these things as problems that he needs to solve and obviously aspects of the roster to address. And he needs to do that at the end of the day is what needs to happen. The way he's gone about it, like you said, a bargain bin type of, kind of going with the flow, picking up pieces, setting guys down. And, it's just not working. Okay. And I understand there's a lot of circumstances where it's like, injuries have kind of fucked things up a little bit. The fact that just players themselves haven't been executing also kind of screwed things up. But you're a general manager, you have to have some type of insight here. Okay. You have to have some type of like foresight, I guess is the word I'm looking for, be the opportunity to anticipate these things. And he hasn't really anticipated any of it, dude. So it's just like, not good.
Yeah. And then also Kev was mentioning, in addition to that, ignoring the importance of the starting pitching, but just trade deadline, not prioritizing guys with control. Everyone you traded for, you're not going to have under contract next year. And it seems like that's a miss as well, right? You gave up a lot for these guys.
No, you did. You did give up a lot, and I get it. At that time, Stearns is thinking Peterson, like he's our ace right now. Like he can pitch game one. Manaya's coming back. he'll probably be pretty solid. The arm angle, the off speed, be great. Kadai Senga, I mean, coming back also at the deadline, it's like, oh, like he had like a 1.9 ERA the first half. He was, was putting Cy Young numbers up, expecting him to do well, and just like, certain things you don't blame him for. Like honestly, like who really would have thought Singer would be coming back and having almost a 7 ERA in August, and then Peterson just not being himself, like at all the second half. So like that's tough. But again, I mean, I think he's doing well with what he has, I guess at the end of the day. But I do blame the players, I guess, a lot as well.
Mendoza at all or no? Because C-Mac on the Fan was kind of alluding to he thinks there's some type of rift in the clubhouse.
I mean, listen, I can't speak to a rift. I'm not in the clubhouse. I'm not one of those reporters every day. I mean, they're losing. They're not playing well at all. I couldn't imagine things are good at that point. It's if they're winning, I'm sure everything's fine. When you're losing, obviously there's tensions, especially when you're on a skid as bad as this. I think they've lost like 45 of their last 70 games.
Yeah, since May. I mean, it's got to be over 10 games under 500, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's like such a skid and a slide. So like, I mean, listen, I don't think anything's off the table necessarily, but you'd imagine that the locker room isn't exactly copacetic right now. I don't know. I mean, right now Mendoza. One thing that kind of maybe pisses me off a little bit is that he is. But again, I guess maybe it's justified. I think he's a little too slap happy with his starters in terms of maybe going to the bullpen. But I don't know. I mean, I've heard some guy like Rick and Dave were talking about this, but part of me thinks like, I mean, how much confidence should you really have in your starters? And it's like at this point, you're looking at Nolan McLean to be like your first game of the wild card series starter at this point.
Right.
So it's like, do you really want to over pitch him right now? I mean, these guys don't have a lot of pitches in the majors, being rookies. So it's like
you kind of have to, right? Because you need to win every game. Right?
Exactly. This is like the rock and the hard place I think Mendoza is stuck in because, I mean, your bullpen isn't that great, I guess. So it's like you gotta have to force these guys, but it's like it just seems like anywhere Mendoza goes to on the lineup card doesn't like it's just the players aren't executing. So again, at the end of the day, I still blame the players more than I do Mendoza. I think he's managed, a great season. I mean, obviously you're praising him for the first half of the year. I would blame the managers more. I mean, the players more rather. I don't know how you feel. I mean,
always the players, but it's kind of like with when I look at like Boone, you just want to see like value in the manager. And that's one thing that I would kind of just look at is like, is there value? Is there is the motivation there? Because are the guys not motivated? Is that why they're not playing well? So to me, it goes hand in hand. And I don't know. I think especially if they don't make the playoffs, I wouldn't put it past them to just give Stearns, this is the one off season, fix this, and to possibly go with a new manager that can have like control of the team. Right or no?
I mean, listen, if that problem keeps happening, but I mean, I don't know. It's tough to sit here and be like, oh, like these players aren't motivated to win. I mean,
but then it's like, so then you go back to the players. But I always just look at it as like, if you're a good team, it's the same thing when like Yankees going through their tough stretch. It's like you shouldn't lose that many games in a row. Like,
right?
It's not this and that, and you shouldn't. And so it comes down to everybody's at fault. So. Going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but looking at this now, so what? Game and a half lead over the Giants.
Yeah.
But who are they playing this week?
Padres, and then they have
Padres on the road.
Padres at home.
Oh, at home. Okay.
And then they're playing Miami.
Gotcha.
Oh, no, I think it's Washington and then Chicago and then Miami.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. I mean, listen, Padres are, I guess they've been kind of up and down. They haven't had a great like past 3 weeks either. But I don't know. I mean, it's just, the way the Mets have played, it's like, I feel like any team could do well.
Right.
The Padres just put up, I think 20 runs in the past 2 games against the Rockies. So it's like they have the offense, which is not good because, you don't feel confident in the Mets pitching. So, I mean, listen, the bats have to continue to do well,
So just kind of say a prayer or two and
right. I think so at this point. I mean, you want to think that even though you had trouble against Miami the last time you played them, that you can get past them. Washington, same deal. Obviously, Chicago and San Diego, you're looking at those two as the trouble series. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Giants, the game and a half back. The Reds are in play. I think even Arizona is coming down. They're going to make it a little close, coming down the wire here too. So, it's a crowded area still, dude. And the Mets still need to win every game they can.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we'll talk about baseball in a little bit. Obviously, was happy overall with the Yankees with the 2 out of 3. Wanted it last night, but Warren clearly just didn't have it. But that's all right.
Yes.
And it's nice, kind of a relaxing stretch the last 13. So the opportunity is there to really clean up. So let's hope that happens. But before we move on, just go over these comments here. Yeah.
Yes, dude. Sorry, I got worked up about the Mets, dude.
Yeah,
almost forgot.
Triggered. Al said he was I don't know, bugging out. I forgot what he said, but he commented the other day when Renee was producing.
I mean, how could you not be? How could you not be, dude? It's so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, dude. Ernie is what matters right now with the year in the house, dude. Happy to hear from Ernie and Kev. Dude, with the let's go. We want to smoke. My guy Tony is back, and then he says, "Let's go." Raiders.
Important pick, by the way. We went 1-2. They went 1-1. They have the Raiders, so they need that to take the lead. Otherwise, we'll be tied.
And it all comes down to the Raiders, dude.
Yes.
Which is pretty wild. Josh B in the house says, "Yo, what up, fam? Welcome back, Tony."
Josh B.
Definitely glad to be back here, guys. Kev Do also says, "Damn, the fight on Saturday night, Canelo and Crawford was boring." Being a little facetious there. Yeah, dude. I'm trying to think. I got home actually around the time when they just started, and I kind of forgot it was on. But it is dope, dude. I think having these fights as a Netflix vehicle is pretty sweet because.
Wait, is it free?
Yeah, I mean, if you have Netflix, you have it.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So Netflix doesn't really nickel and dime you on these where it's
like, just charge you 20.
Yeah.
I mean, within 5 years, it could be $100 a month for Netflix, probably.
No, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But right now, pretty solid. So I was able to watch the Canelo fight, which honestly I thought was really entertaining, dude. Did you catch any of it?
No. I just honestly I probably if it was I wouldn't have minded it, but I'm always gonna over boxing fighting.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna want to watch Yankees or football, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, true.
There's not really much time for that type of stuff. But not to say that in certain situations it's not enjoyable.
No, yeah. I mean, I totally agree. Again, the reason why I like boxing too is because they normally do the Saturday nights, and it's like the main card, like the main event is at midnight.
Right.
So it's.
I also can't. I'm not like the Michael Buck and night owl either. I'm
okay, true.
Kind of by 12, I'm pretty much cooked. I would say.
So I feel like Saturday night, like midnight, you're at the bar. Hopefully, the bar has it on. Sort of deal.
At
the bar at midnight.
I mean, I feel like maybe if I'm like on a trip or something, but at home, that bar at midnight. I mean, probably not happening.
But yeah, dude, it's a good fight. And then honestly, you can go on Netflix right now and watch the whole thing, dude. If you
there
want.
You go. So I'll probably do that in a couple of years when I have some extra time.
Right. And then Donna Lee, speaking of having some extra time, says, "Good morning, all."
Good morning.
Good morning, Donna.
But yeah, let's get started here. And go to the world of the National Football League.
This kid is special, man. You didn't think to do that.
Gonna run for it. He got it. And there he goes. Oh, the play of the year in the NFL. Throws intercepted by Surtain. Nobody's gonna catch him. Jones to the end zone. Touchdown. Quincy Williams leveling Murray. There he goes. Jamar Chase. Touchdown Bengals. Stafford, Williams. What a hit by Buda Baker. Buda Baker just saved a touchdown.
So today's NFL segment is brought to you by Velvet Llama, premium canned cocktails crafted by NYC bartenders with a playful spirit. Enjoy their award-winning espresso martini with Italian espresso and chocolate notes, the crisp Moscow Mule with Nigerian ginger, or the spicy margarita with organic agave and jalapeno. These ready-to-drink treats are made with the finest ingredients. Grab yours at velvetlama.com and ride the smooth wave with Velvet Llama. All right, so quite the Sunday in the National Football League yesterday. Kind of just starting top to bottom, going over the games here. A huge win and loss at the same time for the Cincinnati Bengals as they hang on to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 31-27. But Joe Burrow left this game with turf toe. Looks like he's going to get surgery and be out not 3 games, but 3 months, which would basically take us to like week 14, 15, if everything goes right on schedule, this and that. So, I mean, a huge void to be filled by Jake Browning, who did relieve Burrow and threw 21 of 32, 241, 2 touchdowns with 3 interceptions. Despite Burrow leaving with the injury, Jamar Chase had a productive game, 14 for 165 and a score. T. Higgins had 3 for 56 and a touchdown as well. Cincinnati with that go-ahead touchdown there in the fourth quarter, holding off Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. Lawrence, 24 of 42, 271, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. ETN led them on the ground with 71 yards. As a team, they ran for 139. Seems like they're going to start using Bahushul Tootin, a guy that I have on a couple of my fantasy teams, a rookie running back, 8 for 42. That's why they traded Tank Bigsby. And Parker Washington led them in receptions, 5 for 76. So a couple of things here. Starting with the Bengals, I mean, the Burrow injury is everything. And that is a tough pill to swallow. A team that, it's a big year for it because they missed the playoffs last year. Burrow's dealt with injuries the last, couple years. Jake Browning has proven to be capable, but, we were talking before the show. You look at it, what was it? 2 years ago, he played in 9 games, 12 touchdowns, 7 picks, 70% completion, 98 passer rating, 60.8 quarterback rating, so above average, and had a 68.1 yesterday, but did have the 3 picks. I mean, I guess the one thing too, usually teams, they don't like to bring in, outside quarterbacks or, put resources into acquiring them in the middle of the year because catching up with the playbook, we've seen that go awry. You think about Josh Freeman, Carson Palmer, getting traded for in the middle of the year. It just doesn't always work out great. I mean, if you're Cincinnati, I mean, obviously you're happy that you're 2-0 and Burrow, should be back at the end of the year. But do you think they're just going to kind of do the wait and see here and see if Browning can be good enough, similar to his production a couple of years ago? Or do you think that already they're talking to teams and maybe considering a Kirk Cousins or a Russell Wilson?
I think it's on the table for Cincinnati. I do think so. I mean, I don't know. I feel like knowing Cincinnati, knowing their front office, they probably will sit and wait. But again, I'm sure it's being considered because of the availability of quarterbacks. You mentioned obviously the Giants quarterback room. Obviously, you mentioned Cousins as well. There are options out there, but I don't know. I feel like they would wait and see. They're going to hold put with Browning. That 1 year, I mean, I don't know. The production could be there. I mean, the guy could throw well. Obviously, the 3 picks yesterday, you're worried about that. But the guy has weapons, and I mean, I don't know, man. I just feel like Cincinnati, are they going to go out and try and get somebody? Probably not. Are they in a huge amount of trouble? I would say, yeah, dude. Without Burrow, is my fantasy team in a huge amount of trouble? Yeah, dude. Definitely without Burrow. But yeah, and obviously, I mean, the question mark I feel like always is their offensive line too. I mean, I feel like they rarely protect their quarterback very well. I mean, Browning's going to have to, figure it out, I guess. But I don't know, man. It's tough. I mean, which is kind of wild because I think a lot of people had the Bengals like obviously.
They were my Super Bowl team.
Yeah, they were your Super Bowl pick. There were a lot of people's pick to be like, yo, this could be it. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, like that hookup is going to be ridiculous. But I mean, at this point, I mean, Burrow obviously very injury prone, and they're going to be out 3 months. I mean, this is
crazy
brutal,
over a toe. Usually,
Yeah.
they always say like a toe injury. Oh, there's nothing you can do with the toe injury, but I guess it's that bad. That's why it takes that long to heal. But I mean, obviously, at least they are 2-0. They've had some bad starts under Zach Taylor, of course. So maybe just a week by week approach with Browning and just to hope that he's been in this system a couple of years. He knows the playbook, and let's face it. I mean, he does have talent to throw to in Chase, Higgins, and Fant. And they just hope to the running game, maybe Chase Brown a little more productive than the 16 for 47 yesterday.
So you think they'll be able to hold out?
I
make playoffs?
I think it's a 50-50 proposition. You look at the schedule: at Vikings, at Broncos, home to Lions, at Packers, home to Steelers, home to Jets, home to Bears, at the Steelers. That's what's coming up. So it could go a variety of ways. So it's definitely going to be interesting. I think they'll take it one day at a time. And like I said, at least they feel like Browning does have the weapons. It's just hopefully the offensive line doesn't get him killed out there. And on the other side of things, I mean, obviously it's a disappointing loss. It's a gut-wrenching loss. But I don't know. It feels like Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville with Liam Cohen, as head coach, it feels like they're moving in the right direction. They scored a decent amount here the first 2 weeks, 26 points last week, 27 here. Obviously you lose and you don't like the 2 interceptions. But I feel like they're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, I guess so. It seems that, I mean, I feel like for me, the jury's maybe still out a little bit. I mean, hey,
if they want to trade the Jets, Trevor Lawrence, let's do it.
I think that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I still feel like, next couple of games will be a test. Like the Texans next week, and then the Niners and the Chiefs. I think
Seahawks, Rams, Raiders, Texans, Chargers, Cardinals.
Right. So, I mean, obviously there are a lot of games in there that you would think they could win. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So at least something to point, forward to, 1-1 so far. So we'll see how they look against the Texans, who, I don't know, doesn't feel like they're heading in the right direction.
No.
We'll talk about that in a sec. They'll be playing tonight in the doubleheader. And speaking of the wrong direction, obviously the Giants under Brian Dable, I think they said it's like he was 7-2 his first 9 games as head coach. And since then, he's, 15 games under 500, something like that. But I have to say, I mean, it really, as a Giants fans, they had to have been just absolutely gut punched yesterday. They fall to the Cowboys 40-37. And if you were to tell them going into this game that you would get Russell Wilson to throw 30 of 41 for 450, averaging 11 yards a completion, 3 touchdowns, only 1 pick with a 75 quarterback rating, sacked 3 times, I mean, you'd say, they're definitely going to win. It's just the defense couldn't make a stop on Dak and the Cowboys late. But it is a shame, I would say. I mean, for the first time, probably in a season and a half, 2 years, that their offense was actually fun to watch. And it felt like you were watching Russell Wilson from his Seattle days 5 years ago. He found Malik Neighbors 9 times for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. Wan'Dale Robinson 8 for 142. Scatterbo looks good. I think they'll work to get him more carries. And I think they didn't run as much because the nature of this high scoring game. So at least there's some of that stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just another loss. You got the Chiefs, who are also 0-2 on Sunday Night Football this coming week. So it just doesn't get any easier for the Giants and for the Cowboys. As you would say, Tony, they live to die another day. Obviously, they haven't had the best offseason lead into the start of this season with the Mika trade, Jerry being crazy. Losing the first week to Philadelphia, but they find a way to win here. And there's one thing they could definitely say, it's that they have a chance to have the best kicker maybe by the time his career is over in NFL history, and Brandon Aubrey, who hit a 64-yarder at the buzzer to send this to overtime. Hit the weapon that he is unbelievable. You would imagine he'll break the field goal record a couple of times before it's all said and done. But yeah, the defense obviously needs to be improved. I mean, this is a New York Giants offense that looked terrible week 1, and they dropped 37 points on you. And it felt like you were lucky to win the game. Your third possession, both teams had 3 possessions in overtime. I know new overtime rules a little different. Crazy. You never see that. And I think Dak played pretty well, 38 of 52, 361, 2 touchdowns, had that 1 interception beginning of the second half. They ran the ball effectively this week, 135 yards on the ground, led by Williams' 97 and a score. And CeeDee Lamb, 9 for 112, was your leading receiver. Jake Ferguson also caught 9 for 78. So the ball was spread out. Pickens, 5 for 68 and a score, and Turpin had a touchdown as well. So, like I said, it's surviving and advancing here for Dallas. Before the Giants, it must leave the fans with an empty feeling. Because like I said, this was an exciting game. Russ looked great. But do you think that there's really not that much to take? You think it's more of an outlier performance, or do you think that we're going to see more of this out of Russell Wilson?
Honestly, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if you did. Obviously, Russ, you mentioned him looking like he was back in Seattle. I mean, I feel like because it's been kind of so long, I guess people maybe forget how good he is. Because I mean, you're right. I mean, dude, his connection with Neighbors yesterday was just awesome, and it was so fun to watching him air this ball out, to multiple different targets. So I mean, Robinson. Yeah, Robinson, Darius Slayton a couple times as well. So I mean, he looked great. Maybe he's just having fun, enjoying his time in New York. I don't know. Maybe he just rose to the occasion. Dallas, big stage, Cowboys, good game. But I don't know, man. I don't think this is a flash in the pan one game. I mean, I'm not going to say this guy's going to average 450 yards through the air every game. But I honestly, I could see him putting up numbers, like this again this year.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean, I think depending on the matchup against the Chiefs, who are desperate to win on Sunday Night Football, even though it's at home, I could see the Chiefs dominating that game because they're pissed off.
I mean, I understand that too, but I mean, Dallas still has a pretty solid defense. No,
no, I don't think so. I'm telling you, this is, and you know what the thing is too. Even if, like, let's say the Chiefs, Wilson throws a couple touchdowns, whatever, but I would guarantee they lose. I mean, you're 0-3, then you're 0-4, then you're 0-5. I mean, how much longer are you even going to play, Russ? It just seems like Jackson Dart by week 5 or 6 is obvious. And, Dable could be coaching for his job here. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle this. But like I said, that's Sunday Night Football next week. And then the Cowboys are going to play at the Bears, who, are 0-2 once again here. And they fall to the Lions 52-21. So maybe the reports of the Lion demise might have been exaggerated there. And at home, dropping 52 points here. Jared Goff, 23 of 28, 5 touchdowns. They ran the ball for 177 and 2 scores. Gibbs and Montgomery finding the end zone. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 for 115, 3 touchdowns. Williams and Brock Wright also caught touchdowns for the Lions in this one. And you look at the other side of the field. I mean, Williams was 19 of 30, 207, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And obviously it's just a loss, a tough loss. Obviously, you think about them losing that game to Minnesota last week. I mean, what were your thoughts here? I mean, the Lions, still a force in the NFC, I guess you could say.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, NFC in general is going to be tough. Their division also very tough. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, Jared Goff, was just dialed in. He was as close to perfect as you could probably get. And honestly, I guess I'm not surprised. I mean, I feel like there's been so many games the past couple of seasons we've seen Jared Goff 4, 5 throwing touchdown passes, right? No picks or anything like that. I mean, it's just one of those games where he was dialed in. St. Brown too. I think 5 of those targets came in the fourth quarter too. Just absolutely dialed in, slamming the door if there ever was one open for the Bears. And obviously the running game, Dan Campbell, playing every second, to win. That is the Detroit Lions, right? I mean, that's just how they play their game. That's how they operate. So, I mean, I feel like for me, no surprise here. Bears fall at 0-2, kind of tough. Big question mark for Caleb Williams at this point.
I mean, I don't think he played that bad, but it's just, I mean, the losses stack up and the groans get louder. I mean, obviously you got a first-year head coach here in Ben Johnson, and while it does seem like he's playing a little better football, you just want to start winning games, and they'll have an opportunity at home against the Cowboys at 425 this coming week, and then you're at the Raiders, at the Commanders, home to Saints. But yeah, I think it's just you want to start winning games, and it seems like Caleb Williams is solid. You have Roma Dunze as well. He had a great game, and then you got DJ Moore. So there's weapons here to throw to. Cole Kmet, Swift and Mangai in the backfield. So it's all about just getting wins here, and we'll see if they could do that next week against Dallas. I think that should be an interesting matchup. For sure.
After the game, reporter was asking Ben Johnson about because I guess late in the fourth quarter, I think the Lions had a 4th and goal.
Yep.
Right. And Campbell went for it on 4th and goal,
if he
scored
was
touchdown
tight or whatever.
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He's like, no, that's what Dan does.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, do you think Dan was trying to
No, that's just
No?
like I said,
like,
what he
Ben
does.
Johnson, like you should,
No,
you
I
should never left.
think also too. No, I mean you can't fault the guy for taking a head coaching job. I think too, he didn't like the way last week went, so he wanted to make a statement this week, and that's what they did. They're gonna play the Ravens Monday Night Football next week. So that should be an interesting matchup for sure. So we'll have to see what happens.
I feel like not good for the Bears.
No, the Bears play the Dallas. The Lions play the Ravens.
Okay.
So moving along here, we saw the Titans drop to 0-2. The Rams winning 33-19. Matt Stafford, 22 of 33 for 298 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. And he found Devontae Adams 6 times for 106 and a score. Puka Nacua had a 45-yard rushing touchdown, as well as 8 catches for 91 yards. And Blake Corum had one of the best games of his NFL career, scoring a rushing touchdown, rushing for 44 yards on 5 carries. So good start up to the season here for the Rams. And, a lot of concerns about Stafford in that back in the contract extension. And, of course, this is just a win against the Tennessee Titans with a rookie quarterback. But 2-0 is 2-0, and they obviously, had a closer game with the Texans last week, and then they get the playoff rematch coming up with the Eagles next week. And that's one that they've had circled on their calendar. And I was talking to somebody about that yesterday. I mean, they easily could have won the Super Bowl last year because they were that close to beating Philadelphia. That one is in Philadelphia, which makes it tough. But definitely will be a good game to watch. That's for sure. But what do you think about this version of the Rams? You get rid of Cooper Kupp, you're bringing in Devontae Adams, and seems like they're featuring Blake Corum a little more here with Kyron Williams. I mean, do you believe at 2-0 here? I know we're early, but that the Rams are going to be a force here in the NFC? See how they look against Philadelphia?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, in terms of a force in the NFC. I mean, I guess maybe at least in their division, I guess. I mean, although the Niners are looking good, but I don't know. I mean, yes. I mean, I think Stafford right now is proving that back injury or not, he's going to go out there 110%. He averaging almost 300 yards, right? I guess this season he's got like 290 the first 2 games, 3 throwing touchdowns, the 1 pick, limiting mistakes, which I think someone at his age battling a little bit of a back issue is probably one of the bigger problems I guess he would face is limiting turnovers. I mean, Puka Nacua looking great these first 2 weeks. You mentioned Adams too. Williams averaging seems like 4 yards a carry for the past 2 games too. So like pretty solid all around. But like I said, I feel like I don't know, Titans are they really a challenging
they're
team?
A 3 or 4 win team.
Yeah,
but.
So I would like to see the Rams, against maybe a better team. Who they play the first week? Houston, was it?
Houston, they won 14-9.
So, I guess jury's still out, I suppose.
Yeah. But it would be, a little nostalgic to see Stafford and McVay go on one more run.
You're pulling for them, for sure.
Of course,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
I might even call the victory against the Eagles. I don't know. I just that was a close game against Kansas City. We'll get to, but I don't know if they're as crazy maybe as they were last year when they won the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be tough sledding for Titans. Sure, you got Tony Pollard and Cam Ward. I think eventually it'll be good. He was 19 of 33, 175 and a touchdown. Pollard just under 100 yards at 92. But like I said, I think it's just they don't have the roster to compete this year. They get Indiana Jones and the Colts next week at home. So we'll see what they could do in that divisional matchup. That's one of the surprises of the season too, which we'll get to, but just following the order of the ESPN.com score box here. We had a Devon A-Chain touchdown called back in Miami late in the fourth quarter. The Patriots hanging on 33-27 as the slide continues for Mike McDaniel and the Miami Dolphins. So Mike Vrabel picking up his first victory as Patriots head coach, and his quarterback Drake May was flawless yesterday. 19 of 23, 230, 2 touchdowns, no picks, was sacked 3 times, but had a QBR of 77.6. And Rhamondre Stevenson had over 100 total yards from scrimmage, 54 on the ground, 88 through the air, good enough to be the team's leading receiver. But to me, we know, okay, the Patriots will be better than they were last year under Gerard Mayo. But I think the story here is more about what the Dolphins are going to be as they fall to 0-2. Tua played much better, 26-32, 315, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, was sacked 5 times, got Tyreek Hill involved, 6 for 109, and A-Chain and Waddle had receiving touchdowns. But it just feels like this whole thing with the Dolphins, and again, of course, it is early, but just going from where they were the talk of the league a couple years ago, all that speed on that team, and it just doesn't seem like they're headed in the right direction. It seems like Hill is unhappy, and they keep saying they're not going to trade him, which makes me feel even more that you're going to look up and it's going to be week 9, and Tyreek Hill is going to be back in Kansas City. Just wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened. But don't you think? I mean, this whole thing is headed for the divorce. Yeah,
no, I mean, listen, we said this, or at least I said it during our divisional previews. I mean, I think Miami is going to be a dumpster fire. They had a team meeting after week 1. Like you said, Hill not happy, Tua not good, you know? So I don't know. I think like you said, there's going to be, some papers being served at some point this year for a lot of people around that organization. Like you may, after this year, maybe just like a blow up spot, it's over.
So we'll see what happens. Patriots get the Steelers at home next week, and short turnaround for Miami as they play the Bills in Buffalo Thursday Night Football. Seems like a smash spot. I mean, obviously the only advantage they have there is it's earlier in the year rather than late, so it's not like you're going to have 20-degree temperatures there in Orchard Park. We saw Mac Jones make his first start as a member of the San Francisco 49ers. He gets the Niners to 2-0, hanging on to beat the Saints here 26-21. And Mac Jones was 26 of 39, 279, 3 touchdowns, playing for head coach Kyle Shanahan, who reportedly wanted to draft him when he came out as a rookie, but he was kind of, forced or convinced to take Trey Lance. But he had a great game. This is coming off a few disappointing seasons, was the backup in Jacksonville after the Patriots got rid of him last year, but he looked good. I mean, obviously it's against the Saints team that we're expecting to have the number 1 pick. We saw McCaffrey run for 55 yards, catch 6 passes for 52 yards and a score. Jawan Jennings, their leading receiver, catching 89 yards worth of passes on 5 catches and had a receiving touchdown. And Spencer Rattler, I think, is 0-8 as a starting quarterback in the NFL. His numbers weren't terrible, 25 of 34, 207, 3 scores, no interceptions, sacked 3 times. Kamara, just under 100 yards at 99. So it's kind of one of those things, almost similar to the Giants. Okay, you looked a little better offensively, but at the end of the day, you lost again. And it just seems like it's going to be a long year for New Orleans. In terms of San Francisco, because I think it's going to be a couple more games here without Brock Purdy. George Kittle, I don't think he'd be activated until like week 6 or 7. It might be beyond that. They got Cards, Jags, Rams, Bucks, Falcons coming up. What are your thoughts on Mac Jones and the 49ers?
I guess there's something to be said that Shanahan wanted him, and maybe, Mac Jones playing for someone who does is, giving him a little uptick of productions. I mean, I don't know. I still think Jones has some left to be desired. I'm
looking at this, not to interrupt, but looks like Purdy out next week, and then probably he'll come back the following week.
I think the schedule is a little favorable for the Niners, and obviously getting off to a 2-0 start helps as well. So, listen, I don't think Mac Jones is going to be like lights out by any means, but against the Cardinals,
he can beat the Cardinals.
Yeah, you can beat the Cardinals,
and you can beat the Jags.
That team has the weapons. Yeah, even if you God forbid you still have Mac Jones out there, you could probably beat the Jags as well. So I don't know. I think that the next couple of weeks are going to be favorable for the Niners. It seems like the Niners are going to have a pretty solid year, to be honest. And I guess good for Mac Jones, right?
Yeah, no, I like it. I like the revival stuff. And I think Kyle Shanahan, that's his bread and butter, and he got things started for Sam Darnold, and that parlayed him into getting a $100 million contract from Seattle.
Pretty wild.
Speaking of Seattle, the Saints will be in Seattle next week. That appears to be a tough one. Kellen Moore could be in for a choppy year as his first year as the New Orleans head coach. And speaking of a choppy year, what do you know? The Jets 0-2 once again, falling to the Bills 30-10. This one wasn't close, 20-3 at half. And James Cook ran wild on this New York Jets defense. Justin Fields leaving with a concussion. Tyrod Taylor in. The Bills gashing them on the ground, though, for 224 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Former Jet Elijah Moore scoring on a Jet sweep. Josh Allen only had to throw for 148, no touchdowns, no picks, and was just sacked one time. Does it feel like we are headed for yet another long Jets season?
Unfortunately, it does, dude. I mean, and I mean, you can look at like basically everything that went wrong, and I understand it's the Bills, but I mean, geez, dude. I mean, it just was not competitive from the first series. You just saw right away that this is going to be Bills just all over the Jets, and that's exactly what it was all game long. Obviously, say what you will about the Bills, you still expect more out of the Jets at this point, and it's like, I don't know, Justin Fields, like, concussion sucks, but it's like, I don't know, just was not throwing very well. Clearly, I think he overthrew Wilson in the first drive. And then obviously the fumble. I think he has the most fumbles. He leads the NFL in fumbles. I had no idea since 2022, since he came in the league, I guess, which is brutal. I didn't know that. So that really sucks in terms of turnovers there. And then you obviously saw one, a big one, in the second drive of the game. Again, you just got off with nothing. The Jets were so flat-footed. The defense was also just sad. I mean, the run defense was terrible. The pass defense was terrible. Sauce Gardner didn't look great. He had a couple good plays, but like when Josh Allen went out because he broke his fucking nose, Trubisky comes in, 30-yard pass right to whoever that was covered by Sauce. It's just like, what are you guys doing? And I don't know. I kind of question the defensive scheme here. I mean, they were playing man coverage, and it just seemed like they could not hang with the Bills at this point. I guess the thought is that your defensive line up front can pressure Josh Allen, but I mean, I don't know, that guy lives in under pressure, so it's like I don't really know what you're trying to accomplish. You didn't really get to him that much anyway, and on top of that, offense just looks so stagnant after week 1 when you scored 30 points. It's just brutal, absolutely brutal. And it does seem like the Jets are kind of aiming towards not good season at all, dude.
And they will be in Tampa against Baker and the boys next week. And we mentioned the short turnaround for the Bills hosting the Dolphins. So it seems like that should be an easy one for the Bills to possibly move to 3-0. And we saw the Steelers, blow a halftime lead against Seattle, only scoring 3 points in the second half, losing 31-17. I'm sure you saw, I think it was Keon Johnson, or if I'm not saying his right, actually, it should tell me here. Caleb Johnson. The whole landing zone, new kickoff rules, letting Seattle score a easy gift-wrapped touchdown. Obviously, they ended up losing by 2 scores, but that completely changed the game as Pittsburgh was leading at that point. So just a tough loss for the Steelers at home in a game that I didn't expect the Seahawks to win, but they do just that. Sam Darnold just under 300 at 295, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, sacked twice. Walker ran for 105 and a score. Leading receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba 8 for 103, and Cooper Kupp, after a quiet first game in Seattle, 7 for 90. So good for Seattle to even up the record at 1-1. First loss of the Aaron Rodgers Steeler tenure. 18-33, 203, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, sacked 3 times, only a QBR of 30.8. So far cry from his week 1 performance. And they ran for only 72 yards on the ground. Jalen Warren, the leading receiver, 4 for 86. DK Metcalf caught a touchdown, but was only 3 for 20. So disappointing loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers in their home opener. And like we talked about, they will be in New England next week. And for the Seattle Seahawks, they have a game next week at home against the Saints. So that should be an opportunity for them to move to 2-1. What do you think here on this one? I mean, I was definitely surprised, but I do think that Johnson, snafu in the end zone there. I mean, I think if that doesn't happen, I think Pittsburgh probably wins this game.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen,
demoralizing,
especially if it's like one score deficit by Pittsburgh. Rodgers the ball in his hands. Limited time in the fourth quarter. Like I would be betting on Rodgers to get down the field, regardless of the 2 picks, not having a great game, whatever. So yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Johnson blew it in that one. There's really no excuse. I would imagine he's just getting reamed out. Film, special teams, not good. But I don't know. I mean, I will say though, Rodgers did not look good. The 2 picks, dude, not very efficient through the air. This is a Rodgers that was somewhat similar to the first half of last season. I mean, do you think that Rodgers will pick it back up? I mean, obviously week 1 against the Jets, but
decisive win against the Patriots coming up.
Really?
Yep, definitely.
Okay.
So just like I said, I think that was tough. It was
tough.
It was tough. So, and then I think Seattle should coast next week against New Orleans.
How much stock do you have in Seattle? You think Darnold will be, starting to roll a little bit?
I think San Francisco's a better team. I like San Francisco. So I just think tough division, tough schedule.
Yeah, it is.
But we'll see. The Ravens 41-17 over the Browns. Lamar Jackson 4 passing touchdowns. So bouncing back from that collapse in week 1. It was definitely a surprise though to see them, kind of attack through the air. Only ran for 45 yards, 2.1 yards per carry. So the Browns defense kind of bottling them up. Derrick Henry 2.1 yards per carry.
Crazy.
Lamar 13 yards on the ground. When was the last time we said that? And how about DeAndre Hopkins catching another touchdown? So a little revitalization after not looking great in Kansas City last year. 2 for 64 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Walker caught 2 touchdowns. Tylan Wallace with a touchdown, and Zay Flowers led them with receiving 7 for 75. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's like, can you really take too much away from this game? I mean, the Browns are clearly going to be one of the worst teams in the league. Stefanski, we talked about being on the hot seat. So let's see what Baltimore looks like at home against the Detroit Lions. That's a Monday Night Football game next week. And way back when, I remember Justin Tucker kicking a 61-yarder to beat the Lions. That was pretty cool way back when. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get another all-time classic there. And for the Browns, I mean, it's like, I think it's just time to, we're only 2 games in, but see what you have, whether it's Dylan Gabriel, who is technically the backup, or Shador, because Joe Flacco's not the future, and you're not going to win any games this year. So I don't, you know what I mean? It's like almost, I would say it's almost even worse than Russell Wilson with the Giants. You drafted 2 quarterbacks. I mean, take a look what they look like. I mean, I guess maybe, you don't want them to get killed against the Packers next week, but it seems like a waste of time with Flacco. No, I mean,
yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, what are you playing him for? What is he playing for?
I think he's more valuable holding a clipboard, to be honest.
Yeah, I would think so too. I would imagine he seems like a great guy, clubhouse guy, teach a young quarterback. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of odd. Do you think that they will? You think he's still starting games? Like
I think they're gonna give it a couple more, but by week 5-6, you'll see Dylan Gabriel in there.
All right.
Any stock into the Indianapolis Colts and Indiana Jones 29-28. The Colts over the Broncos. The game-winning 45-yard field goal after the Colts kicker Spencer Schrader had missed his first career field goal, except he didn't because of the unnecessary roughness, jumping the long snapper. So pandemonium there in Indy. Daniel Jones leading the Colts to their first 2-0 start since 2009. 23 of 34, 316, a touchdown. And also had a rushing touchdown. Jonathan Taylor was all over the field, 25 for 165. Also on the ground, 2 for 50. Not in the ground, but in the air, 2 for 50 with a receiving touchdown. Tyler Warren, the impressive rookie for Penn State, 4 for 79, led them in receiving. And this is a performance against what is supposed to be one of the best defenses in the NFL. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I mean, I knew Shane Steichen, he's good on offense, but I don't know. He seemed like another guy that it's like, does he, where are they going? It's been a disaster with Richardson, but maybe Richardson is really that bad. I mean, what do you think about what we've seen out of Daniel Jones so far? I mean, I know they got lucky here with that penalty, but just overall his performance has been nothing short of spectacular.
Yeah, I mean he's looking like a totally different man over there,
or a
for the Colts, dude.
may I say,
dude. So yeah, dude, I don't think anyone really would have guessed that the Colts be 2-0 at this point. You mentioned, I know Broncos, maybe some left to be desired, but you still would anticipate Peyton, Nix, the defense to handle business. And I mean,
they did, but
yeah, I guess so. I mean, they literally, nobody could have touched Taylor. It looked like, the guy was just all over the field.
He did gash them. Yeah.
And honestly, like, I don't know, it just looks like that the Colts have some solid pieces in Jonathan Taylor, Daniel Jones, keeping it clean, 300 through the air, no picks, and obviously the ability, it seems, to rush. I mean, I don't know what he was working with in the offseason, but it just seems like he's more stable of a guy in terms of making decisions on the field, running better, looking more athletic. And he has pieces downfield. I mean, you mentioned Tyler Warren. This is a game too where Michael Pittman, 5 targets, 4 receptions, 40 yards. I mean, you can hit it up more too as well. So it's like, I don't know, it seems like the Colts have a kind of somewhat of a well-rounded team. Maybe their defense could use some work, but right now, yeah, Daniel Jones is looking mighty good over there in Indianapolis. And I'm sure a lot of Giants fans are scratching their heads.
Yeah. And next 2 weeks, they are in Tennessee and at the Rams. But starting with that Tennessee game, an opportunity to go to 3-0 for the first time since 2009. And for Denver, I think they'll be fine. Bo Nix did have 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 206 yards, not sacked, QBR 72.3. J.K. Dobbins with a rushing touchdown, 76 yards. It was very uncharacteristic to see Cortland Sutton only 1 for 6 yards, but maybe they have something with Troy Franklin, 8 for 89 in the score, and Marvin Mims and Adam Troutman also caught receiving touchdowns for the Broncos. So definitely a gut punch loss for them. They will be in Los Angeles next week against the Chargers before they host the Bengals and then are at Philly. But yeah, I think it's just with a veteran coach there in Sean Payton, you would think, they'll bounce back and, take care of business next week. But we'll have to see. And then, moving along here, we also saw the Cards 27-22 over Bryce Young and the Panthers, who did have a furious comeback, recovered an onside kick. But just not enough. I think it was Bryce Young's second career 300-yard passing game. Shows how much he struggled there in Carolina so far. 35 of 55, 328, 3 touchdowns and a pick. They were down 20-3 at halftime, only lose by 5. But no success running the ball here, and kind of a comeback story. Hunter Renfrow, who had retired, back in action here, caught 2 passing touchdowns for Carolina. But on the other side of the field here, Arizona, Kyler Murray, 220, a touchdown and a pick. Also ran for 32 yards on the ground. And his leading receiver was Trey McBride, 6 for 78. So a close win against Carolina. Not exactly impressive, but this is a big year for Jonathan Gannon and the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray. And they have a divisional game in Santa Clara next week against the 49ers. But I don't know. I don't know if there's too much to take away here for Arizona. I still don't think that they are a playoff team. It just seems like, I don't know. Is it just me, or is it tough to envision Murray, tough defense, playoff game, week 18 winning in? I just don't see him stepping up and being that type of guy. I don't know if they don't have enough pieces. Connor is good. I like Benson at running back. I like Marvin Harrison Jr., but I don't know. It just seems like it's one of those things, waiting for it to happen. I don't know, too, if maybe he just needs to change the scenery, but I don't know. To me, that wasn't impressive yesterday.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I feel like that's been the sentiment for Kyle Murray. I feel like his whole career, right? In a big high pressure spot, people just are not going to be betting on him. So yeah. I don't know. Change of scenery is interesting.
Jets?
Dude, I don't know, man.
Fields 2.0.
Literally, right at that point, right? It's another reclamation project you're trying to do, and it's like, how much success have you really had with that? And yeah, it is kind of like another Justin Fields. Oh, he can run, but he's not great at throwing. Yes, the ability sometimes, but gosh, no, I would say no.
Yeah, and who knows? Carolina, Dave Canales, Baker's boy or not? I don't know. Bryce Young, that's another thing. Change of scenery. It just feels like that's not going to happen in Carolina, but he'll get another opportunity to right that ship coming up next week. You'll have Panthers hosting the Falcons. So they looked pretty good, and we'll get to their game in a second. But for now, anyway, Carolina moving to 0-2 and Arizona moving to 2-0. The last game of the 4:00 window, we saw the Eagles hang on to beat the Chiefs. Chiefs 0-2 in the first time in the Reed and Mahomes era. Tony cheesing somewhere. But I don't know. To me, it was a close game, and boy, the Chiefs have some stuff to work on offensively. And the Eagles just kind of pounding the ball up the middle here. Kind of interesting, but 2-0 is 2-0. Jalen Hurts only threw for 100 yards. Saquon 88 in the ground and a score. Jalen Hurts with a rushing touchdown. What'd you make of this one? I mean, did you feel the Eagles, they're kind of just perfecting what they're good at? I mean, this game was hanging in the balance, but obviously the thing with them is if they have even a small lead, they can just run the ball so effectively and just wind down the clock.
Yeah, no, I mean, you said it. I mean, they are kind of perfecting, I guess, their own game. I mean, it's, obviously Hurts is throwing to Smith and Brown and then
barely throwing, right?
No,
though?
if that. I mean,
running.
Those are the main two guys. And then, it's Saquon Barkley, 22 carries. I mean, that's their game. And they play a solid defense. Yes. I mean, listen, a win is a win. You're playing the Chiefs. You gut it out. That's great. I feel like the storyline here is more so on the Chiefs' inability right now because I feel like they're losing a couple ticks. I mean, I feel like it's another week. Travis Kelce, I mean, he's dropping a lot of passes.
Well, how about that drop that led to the interception?
Yeah.
It probably won the Eagles the game. Andrew Mukuba with the pick off of Kelce's hands.
Yeah, I mean, that's not good. Those are catches that Kelce should have, dude. It seems like maybe he's lost a little bit. A tick or two on the old fastball, as they say. But also, I mean, I don't know. Who the hell is why can't I think of the Xavier Worthy's been out. Obviously, they're clamoring for some better receivers, I feel.
Rashee Rice, week 7 he'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Worthy's coming back next week.
Okay.
So I mean, that's gonna be huge, I think, for Mahomes in the offense. I mean, obviously, you're sitting here.
You're facing the Giants next week, too. So
well, I mean, I guess you can chalk it up to a win, maybe, I guess. I don't know. I mean, right now, Chiefs sitting at 0-2. Statistically speaking, the 0-2 teams making the playoffs, not great, but it is the Chiefs. I would imagine, getting Worthy back from injury, that's going to help something. And again, I would imagine that Kelce is going to be dropping these passes like all day long. So I'm sure they'll end up figuring it out. I mean, listen, you're playing the defending Super Bowl champions here. So like obviously it's gonna be a game. They're gonna kind of give it to you. But I mean, it seems like the Chiefs right now still kind of playing that, I guess you can say, questionable football like they were last year. Only difference is here is that they're not, when it comes down to crunch time, it's they're losing by 3 instead of winning by 3, last year it would have been like the Chiefs with that pick off the fingertips of somebody else to seal the game on their end because they were just figuring out ways to win games. Now, so it just seems like the ball is falling the other way. I mean, I don't know. I still have confidence that Mahomes and Reed will figure a way to start winning.
They'll win
games.
the AFC West.
Yeah, exactly.
2-4 a couple years ago, ended up winning the Super Bowl. So, like you said, you never know what's going to happen. But 2-0 and 0-2, and like we said, the Chiefs will be in the Meadowlands, come Sunday night. And the Eagles will have that game against the Rams in Philadelphia. So that should be a great matchup as well. Last game of yesterday, we saw the Falcons pretty much dominate J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings 22-6. Bijan Robinson, talk about running all over the field. 22 of 143 on the ground, 6.5 yards per carry. Also had 3 receptions for 25 yards. And even the backup, Tyler Algier, 16 for 76. So 218 yards on the ground as a team, 1 touchdown. Michael Penix, 13 to 21, 135. Didn't turn it over. Drake Lennon, the leading receiver, 3 for 49. But really just torching this Minnesota defense, one of the best in the league last year. So that's a concern on the Minnesota side of things. But also J.J. McCarthy, feeling the pressure here a little bit. 11 to 21, 158. 2 interceptions. I mean, it seems like there might be some growing pains here in JJ McCarthy's true rookie season after getting hurt in the preseason last year and not playing any games.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, I don't know. His offensive line wasn't really doing him much help, getting sacked 6 times. I guess you can say McCarthy, yeah, maybe kind of young, holding the ball a little bit too long, but I mean, he just, did not have any options downfield. I mean, Justin Jefferson only 3 receptions, 81 yards, yes, but only 3 receptions. I mean, geez, that's pretty tough. And I also feel like Atlanta is a sneaky good team right now.
Yeah.
Obviously the run game was there, dominant. Their their front line, the defensive line was great. So then Penix just, keeping the ball on their side of the field. I mean, it's just a recipe for disaster, I guess, for Minnesota. I don't know, man. I mean, I kind of have quite, I guess you can question McCarthy as much as you want, but I mean, what do you think? You think you can kind of maybe figure it out?
I think
this year?
He'll get there.
Yeah.
But I think offensively there might be a drop off this year for Minnesota unless they can really establish that ground game with Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason.
You think Justin Jefferson's gonna be pretty tight by the end of the year?
I think he's one of those receivers, kind of like Hopkins back in the day of the Texans, or Jamar Chase. Even like doesn't matter who's throwing the ball, the numbers will be there. So
okay.
I think he'll be just fine. And we'll see the Vikings next week at home against the Bengals, and obviously they get a break there facing Jake Browning. So you feel like that's a game they can bounce back potentially. And then the Falcons at the Panthers. So you would think more of the same here. And I think by the season end they will be a good passing team, but I think if they're going to get what they got on the ground last night, they're going to take that every time. Because people forget a few years ago, Tyler Algier, the year before they got Bijan, was a 1,000-yard rusher. So he's a really good running back. So, we've seen the return of the dominant running games, and I think the Falcons definitely define that. So they're a team on the rise, like you said. So an impressive win for them. But that's our recap from yesterday. But we do have 2 games tonight. So we might as well strike up the music, Tony, and do a 2-game Monday Night Football frenzy. And this is going to be brought to you by Velvet Llama.
Yeah.
So we get the doubleheader here.
Let's go.
We'll start in Texas as the Houston Texans host the Tampa Bay Bucks. Obviously, the Texans coming off that Week 1 loss. And the Bucks were victorious in their game to start the season. So the total here is set at 42.5, and you have the Houston Texans home favorites here -2.5. Lost to the Rams 14-9. We know the Bucks narrowly beat the Falcons 23-20. So kind of interesting, but the way I look at this game, give me Baker and the boys. I don't know. I didn't like the way the Texans kind of played down the stretch and kind of that year 2 slump for CJ Stroud. I don't know. It seems like things are a little tougher, and I just think the Bucs are the better team. I love what Egbuka, the rookie wide receiver from Ohio State, did last week. Have him starting for fantasy. We know about Mike Evans, but just Baker has just been on the run for a while now. So I like the Bucs on the road. I'm going to say just over that total of 42.5. I think close game, but give me the Bucs winning 24-21. So that would be the Bucs and the over. What do you got?
I like that call. Like you said, Baker, the run. Watch out for Egbuka, dude.
Yeah.
That's going to be kind of wild. And also, I feel like Mike Evans, maybe a little silent on Week 1. Watch him here for Week 2. The guy, again, we know every year, 1,000 yards. Let's freaking go. So I'd imagine, maybe he gets like $120 through the air. That'd be pretty sweet. Couple tutties. And I'd say the Bucs kind of run away with it. Maybe fourth quarter pull away. Give me the Bucs. I would say 28. Texans. It's 20. So Bucs over, dude.
All right. And then the rare doubleheader coming to you from fabulous Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium here. The Raiders, the Chargers, an old school AFC matchup. Both teams winning their games last week. And the Chargers -3.5 here. Total set at 46.5. And I have been touting the Raiders' decision to go with Pete Carroll at head coach, change the culture. Ashton Genty, while he was bottled up last week, did score his first rushing touchdown. And, Brock Bowers will play in this one after being banged up. So I think things heading in the right direction for the Raiders. But I do think the Chargers are the better team. I love that they brought back Keenan Allen. And I think Justin Herbert, who kind of, had like kid gloves on last year as they were focusing on running the ball. And Omarion Hampton will get his on the ground. But I think we will see him distribute the ball through the air. Threw for 318 last week and 3 touchdowns. Wouldn't be surprised if he matched that production this week. And I do think the Chargers win. The Raiders are improving, but I don't think they're going to win this game. I think it's another over. And I'd say the Chargers are going to win this game. Let's say 28-21. So we'll go the Chargers and the over. What do you got?
I like there in the Chargers, dude. I think, Herbert, another year, young wide receiving core, get those reps in. I love bringing back Keenan Allen as well, the wily vet. Expect him to make a little bit of an impact here, no doubt. Yeah, dude, I think it's going to be Chargers all day here. Harbaugh here, having a good time. Over under 46.5. I don't know. I'd say give me the under. I think these teams, kind of go back and forth. Offense is on the field for a long time. Not a lot of defense being had, but still long drives, not a ton of scoring. I say Chargers at the end of the day win this game. I'm going to say 27. I guess it will be the over then. 27-24. And then Geno Smith, has the opportunity, last minute drive, throws a pick, game over. Bang.
Wow. Just like that.
MLB.
Your Monday Night Football frenzy. But yeah, I like the doubleheader. The only thing is
10 p.m. though,
the Raiders game, I'll probably watch a quarter and then be asleep. I can't do the late nights. I think I watched early third quarter last night with the Falcons. Just needed it. Just needed to be refreshed. Yeah. Can't go to bed after 12, wake up at 6 and think everything's great, Tony. So that's the only tough thing, but I don't know. I still kind of like it.
Yeah. You think any chance it's like, like it's a shootout, they're trading blows here. You're dialed in, great game. Maybe you get to through the first half. Are you kind of toughing it out?
You know what the thing is though? Once you put me in a dark room, melatonin in hand, Tony, I'm just, unless it's the Yankees, it's not going to happen. I'm just going to be like, I'm tired. I can just go to bed. And that is that.
The 10 p.m. start is tough, dude. That is late.
Yeah, it is. But obviously a treat for our West Coast viewers. Yes. And I did see a couple comments here. Ernie touting Indiana Jones. So great start here for Daniel Jones. Good to hear from JD. He says Barnes 7-5, Yanks take 3 or 4 series.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to talk about baseball right now. But that was what I wanted. That's what we got. The only unfortunate thing is the Blue Jays keep winning. So we'll talk about the unlikely path to the AL East title. And then a little dig here at Kev saying Raiders trash. Listen, I just think, Tony, I don't know about you, but I think they are headed in the right direction. Will Geno win them playoff games? Probably not, but I just think they've been so bad. I think the second worst record in the league the last 20 years. That just being more competitive, being maybe a 500 team, maybe a 9-8 team. It just, you have some young talent on that team. You want them to get used to winning games. And I think they accomplished that with bringing in Pete Carroll, right?
Yeah, as funny of a statement that is, getting used to winning games, you're not wrong. They're going in the right direction, I guess. I don't know. Not to say it's like Browns-esque, but I don't know. I feel like with Geno Smith, like even with Pete Carroll, I don't know how much of a future are you betting on? Are you planning for, And then at that point, it's like, if you're just playing to get the team, used to winning, it's like, I don't know, what is the point? Are you?
Well, I don't necessarily agree with that because I think you have right now, you've had anyway, a losing culture.
Right.
So, you keep losing, you keep having bad seasons. The players, they don't even know what winning is. And I just think Carroll comes in there, and you ask him, he thinks they could be in the playoffs this year, and I'm sure he's relaying that message to the players. So I think it was one of those things too. They know they need to build on a future quarterback, but they didn't like any in the draft. So they saw Geno Smith as an opportunity to be competitive and maybe have an outside shot of the playoffs. And that's why they went that route.
Yeah. I mean, do you see them being competitive with the Chargers for the division? Or do you think more
No, I
it's
think,
gonna
like
be
I
a wild
said,
card?
8 and 9, 9 and 8. But that's miles ahead of where they were, right? I mean,
yeah, you're not wrong. And I guess, you never know. I mean, you don't know what Jacksonville's gonna look like. Obviously, with the Bengals and Burrow, like they may not be winning the North. It's probably be the Baltimore. Are they going to be in a wild card position? I guess you never know where you may find yourself at the end of the year. So I guess, win as many games as possible, right?
Yeah, a little back and forth there. Kept saying it comes from a fan of even more trash team. The Jets, though, shall not throw rocks at a glass house. And then JD just says, Genty, like to see him go off tonight. I think he might have him for fantasy. I did not get him for fantasy, but I like Genty. And guess is the Geezer report tonight. But I think that's a good segue. Let's move on from football and go to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep.
And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight. And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Too deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So while they did not win last night, I think the Yankees, anybody would agree, had an outstanding weekend in Boston, a team that they've really, let's face it, coming into this series, 2-8, embarrassed by them this season. But they win the first 2 games of that series to win 2 out of 3 over the weekend. And you know who set the tone? None other than Luis Gil, who threw 6 no-hit innings for the Yankees on Friday night. Their swan song on Apple TV here. But Gil, 6 innings, did have the 4 walks, so that's something we want to work on. But no hits or runs and 4 strikeouts. So that was just the way you wanted to start this series. You didn't want to be down 4-0 in the first or 6-0 last night. And he got help from his offense. Aaron Judge, first inning, hitting his 47th home run of the season. And then the bullpen was mostly good. Yes, we did have Fernando Cruz giving up a home run to Eaton in the 7th, but did strike out 3. And then Devin Williams, we all had a heart attack coming in to pitch the 8th inning. Give 1 hit, got out of it though, thank God. And then David Bednar with 2 big saves, the first coming on this game on Friday, his 23rd of the season at that point, and had a nice 1-2-3 inning. Yankees also helped out by Cody Bellinger with a single. Ryan McMahon had a fielder's choice. The value of Speed Caballero might have been out, but bad throw. He's safe. And then Ben Rice also with a single in this one. So a game where you score 4 runs on 9 hits. And Jazz with 2 steals, Caballero with his major league leading 46th. And it was just a solid win that you needed. And it felt like it set the tone for the weekend. And I want to say, I really have to look this up, but there's something with Luis Gil. I want to say he hasn't allowed any runs against the Red Sox. His first career, 6 career starts against them, but I'm going to take a look on Baseball Reference now. Just to verify that. But he was outstanding. It was a shame. Obviously they're careful with him coming back from injury. All the innings he threw last year, took him out. I think it was 93 pitches. But if we go with the splits here,
looks like 5 starts, 0.99 ERA.
Yeah. Obviously that's outstanding. And listen, the way things are shaping up, it feels like these teams are going to clash in the wild card round. So you're going to need Luis Gil. And there was some start. Maybe Cam will overtake him. But given his track record against the Red Sox, I would fully expect heel to start one of those games. If it does go the full 3 games.
Do you
against the Red
feel
Sox.
really good about Yankees Red Sox? Because you imagine at this point, Yankees probably would be hosting in the wild card, right? So
yes,
you
I mean,
must
a game
feel
and a
good?
half lead, easier schedule, so it seems
Right.
like that. It's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, let's face it. This year, what did we go? 4-9
Mhm.
against the Red Sox, but we haven't beaten them in a series since Aaron Boone sent one into the night off
Wild.
of Tim Wakefield. So I want to kind of cross that off the list. So I'm all for it, and
Let's
I
go,
think
dude.
playing at home, I think the guys will be just fine. And I love the way that we swung the bat this
Mhm.
series. So great win on Friday. We followed it up with another win on Saturday, a tight game. But we saw Max Fried deliver in a big way for his major league leading 17th victory of the season. 5 1/3 innings. Did give up 9 hits and 2 runs, but struck out 6. Kind of battled, hung in there. It was picked up by his bullpen. And yes, what do you know? Fernando Cruz, 3rd straight game giving up a home run. But other than that, the bullpen was pretty lights out. It didn't even allow a hit, actually. So you look at Cruz going an inning, giving up a hit, a run, striking out 2. Other than that, Luke Weaver, Devin Williams, and David Bednar combining for 2 2/3 shutout baseball and striking out 2. And Bednar, his 24th save of the year and seven pitch innings. So 2, 1, 2, 3 innings at Fenway Park. Getting those final 3 outs is never easy. So kudos to Bednar. He has been a godsend since coming over from Pittsburgh. We really needed stability in that 9th inning. Offensively in this one, 5 runs, 10 hits. And you look at the summary of scoring, you had a Bellinger sac fly in the first, Jazz on an infield single to make it 2-0. You add another in the 3rd with a Jazz RBI single, a Jazz homer in the 5th. So 29 home runs in the year for Jazz. I believe 30 stolen bases now, if I'm not mistaken. It's just been great what he's been able to do since coming over to the Yankees. So that gave him a 4-0 lead. Bregman homering in the 5th made it 4-1. Wong with a single to score. Eaton made it 4-2. That's when they went to the bullpen. And then Jarren Duran hitting that pinch hit home run off Fernando Cruz. You had the Bellinger insurance run off Aroldis Chapman in the 9th. So that was always good to see. And just another solid win. You love Caballero playing short as well, making some good plays, stealing bases, and
Swiping bags.
Yeah,
dude.
just using his speed. In the Yankees, I think I want to say maybe it's like since July 7th or something, but the Yankees leading the majors in stolen bases. How many times have we said the Yankees leading the majors in stolen bases for any type of statistic? I mean, never, but Caballero and Jazz, as we know, can completely fly. So that was definitely the high points of the weekend. And last night, unfortunately, I mean, let's face it, Will Warren, 6 runs in the first, gets off to a bad start with that fly ball to left. Stanton playing left field, misjudging it. Everybody talking about how hard it is to track fly balls in the left field corner at Fenway Park. A 6-run first. Yankees end up putting 4 on the board, having 7 hits. And you look at their, scoring summary there. Rosario with his first home run as a Yankee. That closed it to 6-2. Judge going deep off Crochet for the 2nd time this year, made it 6-3. And how about Jose Caballero homering his 3rd home run as a Yankee, made it 6-4. But unfortunately, off of Whitlock and Chapman, and that home run was off actually of Steven Matz. But the Yankees unable to do anything against the combination of Chapman and Whitlock. And at least Warren did pitch 4 scoreless innings after that first. And you didn't really use your high leverage guys. And good to see Duvall have kind of like a dominant inning we've been waiting for him to have, striking out 2 in a 1, 2/3 6. Mark Leiter, what do you know? There's no pressure on him. He has a scoreless inning. And then Paul Blackburn did pitch the 9th. So disappointing way to end the series. But listen, I mean, I honestly feel good too that Garrett Crochet, sure, I mean, he did dominate us, 12 strikeouts, but we did score 3 runs off of him. So you have to imagine game 1 of a playoff series against Boston. I mean, it's Max Fried pitching against Garrett Crochet. So And this is on the road, albeit. So, I mean, if you could score 3 off Garrett Crochet and then we got Max Fried on the mound, I'll still feel pretty good about this. But listen, I mean, Boston's going to be tough, but we have a 1.5 game lead on them for now. So mission accomplished, and kind of circling back to what JD had said. I mean, the 3 or 4 series, the 7-5. I mean, a lot of people didn't think the Yankees could even do that. Yeah, I think overall it was successful. And now, it's the Twins, it's the White Sox, and it's the Orioles to finish the year. You're set up pretty good, but you're 4 back in the division now, and really 5 back because they have the tiebreaker. So in order to make up a 5-game deficit over these 13 remaining games, you have to probably go 11-2, which you could do, but then you would also need Toronto to go 6-7, which I don't know if they're going to do. I mean, they do have some games against the Blue Jays and the Rays that they could possibly lose. But for right now, it's seeming like let's lock up home field, wild card, and probably a date with the Boston Red Sox. But like I said, I'm all for it. I'm not afraid of them, and I want to cross this off the list and not still have the statistic about since 2004, that collapse, you haven't won a series against them. I want to beat them in the worst way. And I think we proved this weekend that we could do it. So all in all, I think it is good. And it's nice now. Sure, you're still on the road here, but you're in Minnesota. You're playing a Twins team that you've absolutely dominated for, I mean, what are we going on? 23 years now. So tonight, I believe it's going to be Schlittler on the hill for the Yankees. And it's Rodon. So actually, let me just get he's pitching against Simeon Woods Richardson.
Hey, now.
So Rodon right behind Fried here for the major league leading wins with 16 wins. So 16-8, 311, 186 strikeouts, 176 in the third innings pitched. Woods Richardson only 94 innings pitched, 94 in the third, 4.58 earned run average, and less than a strikeout in the inning, 84 to 94. So, you feel good, about that. Come on, Tony. You feel good about that. The Twins are in shambles. Losers are 4 out of 5, 65 and 84. So feels like a series you said sweep. They've shown that they did sweep the Cardinals. They did sweep the Nationals. They took 3 out of 4 in Chicago. It's a White Sox. So feels like one of those series. And then just taking it a step further, looking at Toronto here, of course, they had just swept Baltimore, but they are going to be facing off with the Rays in Tampa. So they've been mediocre on the road. You hope that continues. But I feel in a pretty good place right now at the Yankees. And
as you should.
Let's just finish off the season strong.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And then JD saying, was that his 20th first inning home run for Judge? I had heard 19 or 20. It might be 20 now. So that's been unbelievable what he's been able to do in the first inning. And he says true about Heel. You've needed him to step up. He has. So let's see what happens. But that's really where we're at. And just taking one thing at a time here and hoping for that run against the schedule that they have. And given the Blue Jays have tougher opponents, so we'll see. 19, so I kind of had a feeling about that. But yeah, 7:40 tonight. We'll do picks in a second. But other side of things, obviously, Tony, we missed you last week with the Mets, and had to run that losing streak to 8 in a row. Come back and win last night. 1.5 lead on third place in the wild card. So like we kind of talked at the top, just kind of looking to end this season on a high note here and seeing what happens in the playoffs. But as there's just a lot of things to be worked out from now until then.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of things. And I mean, kind of like where you're sitting right now, where you feel good about a wild card series against the Red Sox. You feel good about getting into the wild card series. Not only just winning it, the Mets are really complete opposite. I think that, the playoff hopes right now, completely in the air. And honestly, it just seems like it could be a flip of the coin at this point because the schedule, in my opinion, is not very favorable. And obviously, neither's been the play with the Mets. I mean, it's been absolutely brutal. And you talked about Heel starting things off right foot Friday. Good job. Momentum in their favor. The Yankees, it was the opposite. You had Jonah Tong not lasting an inning And it just, I mean, I don't know what was wrong with Tong. I mean, again, not a ton of major league experience here. But that guy just kept throwing his fastball and kept getting hit. I want to say the first at bat, I think he had a leadoff walk on Friday, couldn't find the strike zone, maybe get somebody to fly out. Oh, it's right. And then he strikes somebody out. These were all 2-out hits, but gives up like 4 back-to-back hits, multiple doubles. What kind of looked like he was getting out of a jam, runners on first and second, 2 outs, ends up being 6-0. He's getting plucked. It's still in the first inning, and it was just that fastball. I don't know what was going on. And even if you look at his, I think the start against Cincinnati where he, pitched, I think it was, maybe 5 innings, 300 runs or whatever it is, again, for someone of his second MLB start, maybe not the worst, but it just seems like that he's only really throwing the fastball. I know he's a fastball changeup pitcher, but it's like these batters are just keying on the fastball and they're hitting it. I know maybe you're not, getting the best location out of it, but like, you can't just keep throwing your fastball. It comes in at 96, 97, which for, I don't know, a lot of hitters, you'll get a lineup like Philadelphia or even a lineup like the Padres. They like hitting fastballs, and 96, 97 isn't crazy, I guess, at this point. So especially when it doesn't really necessarily have a lot of movement to it, you're getting hit. So he has to figure it out. He has to maybe mix in some curveballs, maybe just locate that fastball better. In terms of hitting corners, I don't know. It's kind of tough. Listen, it's, you bring up all these young pitchers, not everyone's going to hit. You're relying on 3 of them now at this point. I guess the good news was, McLean's start on Friday, on yesterday rather, on Sunday.
It's great.
Pitched amazing.
6 shutout.
6 shutout innings. And at this point, by the way, he's 4-1, but through 6 starts, he has a 1.19 ERA. Only Met pitcher to ever do so through his first 6 starts.
Not even DeGrom.
Not even DeGrom.
Harvey, not
Seaver.
even
Nobody.
Not even David
Nolan
Cone,
Ryan, dude. David Cone. Nobody, dude. Nobody. He sits alone.
Nobody.
Okay, dude. Which is great. He's been obviously the bright spot at this point. It's like game 1 wildcard series. You want to start him.
Right.
Which I guess is good. Soto hitting some milestones this weekend as well. At this point, actually, I saw the stat pop up on my Twitter feed yesterday. Juan Soto joins one of 3 players now at this point in one single season having 40 or more home runs, 30 or more swipe bags, with 100 or more walks.
One of them, and I forgot who the other guy
Barry
is.
Bonds and Jeff Bagwell.
Which is interesting.
How about that, dude? But obviously, at that point, you're happy for Soto. Yesterday, Alonso was it his 35th, I think 35th homer, walk-off fashion. Love that. Seems like they could rally around that. We'll see, though, because, again, the pitching has remained a huge question mark. Diaz blowing the save on Saturday. Obviously, Helsley not doing good last week either. Reed Garrett looking kind of rocky. Pitching remains a huge question mark. I think more so of a question mark than your offense. Listen, I don't blame I know you're looking at like a 3-2 loss here and there. You're looking at Jacob deGrom going 7 innings, 300 runs on Friday. The tribute video, Brian, tears in the crowd's
most
eyes,
runs he ever got at
dude.
Citi Field. It was run support.
Literally, dude.
8 runs.
You go back to 2018 Cy Young seasons. A 1.2 ERA, dude, leading the league, and he's 10-9 because they were losing games 1-0. Absolutely
No boo birds
ridiculous,
out for DeGrom?
dude. I think every single Met fan is rooting for Jacob deGrom no matter what, to be honest.
Wow.
Because it just seems like that, obviously the guy went for, first of all, he wins you back-to-back Cy Youngs. I feel like, and I don't know, maybe I'm speaking for myself, but I feel like a lot of Mets fans are under that sentiment where it's like deGrom gave us his best and the Mets just were not good enough to get him wins. They were not good enough to win a World Series. Like, he did his best. Struggled with injury. But not for nothing. deGrom put his body on the line. You look at him, you look at Harvey. Those are pitchers who were, forced to throw extra pitches.
Going
dude.
about Harvey, deGrom, and
dude.
Wheeler.
Yeah, it is. It's it obviously is tough that the Mets could not do them any justice, to be honest.
The pitching lab.
It sucks, dude. I mean, I would still want DeGrom on the roster now. I mean, you look at him; he's got a 2.7 ERA.
DeGrom
I think.
and Wheeler at the top of the rotation with these young bucks.
Like, are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? What could have been would have been phenomenal. But doesn't matter. You can't talk about it. It's never gonna happen. It's gone. The ship is sailed. The door's closed. Gone, Brian. What isn't gone right now is Clay Holmes, dude. He's starting for you tonight. Towing the slab. I mean, nothing really good there. High 3 ERA. I think at this point, you'll get his last.
Wait, the Mets playing? I don't even see.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're off today.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Tomorrow.
Put Holmes in the bullpen. Just do it already.
Honestly,
get Senga up. I mean, Holmes can help you in the pen, regardless of if Senga's ready or not. And I think he did okay in the minors, right?
No, yeah, of course. He's doing it right in the minors, giving up less runs. I don't know. It should be interesting to see what they do against the Padres tomorrow. Obviously, I guess we'll preview it, when we get to it tomorrow, I guess. So.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess, I don't know, dude. You don't feel good. I don't feel good. Again, you want to just lean on your offense. Bless you, exactly. Bless you again,
allergies,
dude.
Allergies.
Maybe something over there. I don't know, man.
No.
Talk about the Mets, dude. Is that what you're allergic to?
Actually, yes, Tony,
dude.
yes.
But again, whatever. One game at a time. Just make the wild card. Game and a half lead. Giants, whatever.
Right.
Just fucking, figure it out, dude.
Maybe do it. Right?
Just do it. Just fucking win some games here. All right. You got 2 series that seem very winnable. You got one against the Cubs, which seems like you could fucking split. I feel like is the Cubs 4-game set? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's still a 3-game set. Doesn't really matter. Just win the fucking series. One game at a time. Mendoza, keep it easy. Rely on the offense. Soto, keep it going. Alonso, keep it going. Maybe, who knows? Alvarez can figure out how to swing a bat. I know the dinger this weekend. He felt really good. Can he keep it going, though? We'll see. Whatever, dude. We'll come to it tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah. And, but, Mets off, Yankees on, but enough games, I think 9, if I'm not mistaken.
How about that?
To do an MLB pick segment here, 6-pack, and of course, brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm. And given the week off, Tony, I was going the distance myself last week. We'll give you a first crack at it. Kind of a different feel with the Mets off.
Definitely always very interesting with the Mets off, but I guess for maybe my picks, it could help. We have some early games here. Braves Nationals doubleheader they got going on. I guess it's a makeup game. I don't even know. It doesn't matter, though, because I'm not touching it. I would be touching the Paul Skeens game here. I'm looking at Tuesday again, dude. God damn it, dude. I'm not touching the Ashcraft game. Why not, dude? Give me the Pirates anyway. Not Graham Ashcraft, but we're looking at Braxton Ashcraft, 25-year-old out of Waco, Texas. You look at this young buck here. Normally a bullpen guy, using some starts recently right now. Pitched 3 innings out of the pen against Baltimore. 3 innings, 1 earned run, 1 solo homer. But then 3 innings, started a game against the Dodgers, scoreless, but did get in trouble with some walks here. I don't know. I think against the Cubs, I think he's serviceable. I think Ashcraft goes 4 innings, more of the distance, a 1 earned run spot. Tyone, I think Tyone gets in some trouble here, to be honest. 4.15 ERA on the season. Pirates looking to crack, losing 4 out of the last 5 games here. Cubs playing good ball recently. But I say in a tight one, Tyone lets them down. Give me Pirates winning this game. I'm going to say 4-3. So Pittsburgh under for my first pick.
All right. So for my first pick, obviously Target Field, Fried, obviously. Not Fried, but Rodon and Woods Richardson here. And I think absolutely dominant performance. I think Carlos Rodon, a season high 12 strikeouts. That's here.
Too high.
7 strong, 7 scoreless, a shutout win for the Yankees. I think they hammer Richardson. I think Aaron Judge goes deep yet again. Seems like he's on some type of heater. And give Stanton a homer. Jazz is 30th, so a 30-30 season for the Yankees for the first time since Alfonso Soriano. I think Caballero still starting it short. Steals 3 bases, scores 3 runs. Yankees 10-0 over the Twins. So Let's get this 11-2 stretch and hope for a Toronto loss. Yankees and the over.
Yankees over there for Brian. Love that, dude. I guess let's go to the late game now. You got Ranger Suarez there pitching for the Phillies. Good pitcher. Matchup against Sheehan, dude. Young guy, I think out of New York. Pretty solid so far this year. 6-3, 3.32 ERA.
I think he went to Mamaroneck High.
Actually?
Nah.
Is there even a Mamaroneck High?
Maybe Harrison High?
I would think, right? Who knows, dude? We'll get our research department on that now, dude. But speaking of now, I think I'm going to go with the Dodgers here. They've won 4 of the last 5. So the Phillies, but I'm saying they're knocking on the door here of being one of the better teams to come out of the NL, behind the Phillies, it seems anyway. But the Phillies just dropped a game 10-3 against Kansas City. And I feel like Suarez didn't really pitch the best against the Mets recently. I'm trying to think, dude. Yeah, 6 innings, no one runs, 12 Ks, pretty solid. Dude, 9-3 win. But I think maybe third time on the rotation here against the Dodgers, get into some trouble. Ranger Suarez, 5 2/3, 4 earned runs. Phillies can't come back from that. Sheehan throws 6 scoreless. Dodgers win 5-1. Dodgers under. Bang.
All right. So next game up here, I am going to go with the Rays. So undecided versus Savage. At George M. Steinbrenner Field. And I think he will be smiling from the heavens here, because I think he'll see the Tampa Rays do the Yankees a solid, beating the Blue Jays here. Junior Caminero with not 1, not 2, but 3 homers tonight, propelling the Rays to a 9-8 walk-off victory over the Blue Jays. Rays and the over.
Rays and the over. By the way, Emmett Sheehan went to Fordham Prep, dude.
Fordham.
Wow, dude. They went to BC, so I guess good for him, dude. Whatever. In any case, Rays over.
Yeah,
Rays over. Write that down, dude. All right, next game here. Kyle Bradish against the White Sox. Ooh, pick'ems. I guess give me the Braves and Spencer Strider. Spencer Strider, kind of crazy, 5-13 record here with a 4.86 ERA.
Very Dylan Cease-like.
Very, very Dylan Cease. Someone could say resemble Dylan Cease. In any case, I think he has a solid start against the Nationals. Nationals looking to buy some wins here against the Braves. I know you're thinking Braves, trash season, dropping 4 of the last 5. Giving up lots of runs here against Houston this past weekend. But I think Spencer Strider, a glimpse of what was last season, 7 2/3, 2 earned runs. Nationals hammered. Give me the Braves. They put up an 8 spot here on the Nationals. Nationals put up 2. That gives you the over with the Braves, my third and final.
All right. So third game, final game here. I would say give me the Diamondbacks.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So both of these teams, Giants, Diamondbacks, in a tight race, but Tang has been terrible for the Giants. 2-4, 7.54. Zach Gallen, not great. 11-14, 4.84. But a while since I've seen somebody have 25 decisions on a season. But
crazy.
Anyway, give me Marte, walk-off homer, 5-4 Diamondbacks in the over. And just like that, MLB pick segment brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm. Grid time, music back up, and a pretty good one. I think we're going to have a nice score
for
dude. This one. It will start moving left to right here. I'm going to say Chris Martin for Braves and Rangers.
Chris Martin. There we go, baby. Point
and
7.
how about this one is for the Swami himself. So Dodgers, Braves, Wilson, Betterman.
There we go, dude. Wilson, Betterman.
And how about outfield Braves, Jorge Soler?
I like that one, dude. I don't know why I can't spell Jorge right now. It doesn't matter. Jorge Soler, dude. 0.8. I got one, by the way, for Texas, Seattle. Okay, I feel like one you're not going to think of a lot because I just watched him pitch in the alumni game for the Mets. R.A. Dickey.
Okay.
Just looked him up, dude. Well, was looking him up then. Looked like an absolute bum.
Wow,
dude.
0.5.
0.5.
You know who was a bum
dude.
pitching for the Yankees? James Paxton. But he did play for the Mariners and the Dodgers.
That's right, dude. James Paxton. Would they call him Big Maple or something?
Big Maple. There we go.
Big Maple, dude.
And then outfield, one game for the Mariners.
Kelenic?
Victor Robles. How about that?
All right, we'll go with Victor Robles. Bang, 2%.
Okay, and then catcher, one game for the Rangers.
Jonah
Rod Barajas.
Rod Barajas, 2%.
Dodgers, Austin Barnes.
5%. And then outfield catcher, which is pretty interesting.
Yogi Berra.
Yogi.
I feel
We
like
have
Ernie
done that
gave us
before.
that one
Yeah.
before. Just absolutely flying through a grid.
Dominant.
What was
grid,
it,
dude.
20? Or no?
19.
19, even better.
Or 20.
Great 20 hit, so that's solid.
Then that's right, dude. You want the football?
Get the football up.
Get the football up, dude. Why not? Let's go. Let's go, baby.
All right.
How'd you do last week with the football?
We got them every time. Just
Okay.
The numbers were high.
Yeah, of course.
This
of
one,
course,
though,
yeah.
I have some good ones for. So I am riled about that.
There we go.
So let's start dead nuts here. So center.
I beg your pardon.
Former Jet, Lamont Jordan.
Lamont Jordan, 0.9. Starting off hot.
And how about so bottom right here, Keenan
Allen.
McCardell.
Whoa.
Keenan Allen would be 90%.
Keenan McCardell, dude. 2%.
All right.
What's up?
Top right, Tim Brown, the Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer Tim Brown. Bang. 1%, dude. All right. Let's go, Brian.
And let's see, 1,000-yard season, Tampa Bay Bucks. I was just trying to think about this. So I have work done,
Evans.
but I was just I was trying to think if there was someone else more recently.
Leonard Fournette.
I don't think he got the
You don't think he got
1,000.
it?
No.
That's about as much as you're going to get out of me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll think about that for a second
Yeah,
and
for a
go Raiders, 5,000 yards, career receiving, and go with Randy Moss.
Randy Moss. 15%. Not
15%.
bad.
Not great. And then let's see, 1,000 yards. It's not Allstott. It's not Fournette. I
LT?
feel like there was
Tomlinson.
there was somebody else, but I don't know. I mean, usually we don't get help on the football grids anyway. So
Who the hell was the guy who walked on to the Chargers that one year, 2 years ago? Did he have 1,000 yards that year? Did really well.
walked onto the Chargers.
He maybe went to the
Eckler. You're talking about?
Austin Eckler. Was he close to 1,000 that year? Or is that like crazy to think about?
No. So Eckler never rushed for 1,000 actually.
No.
But all right, you know what? Let me see here. So Raiders.
Josh B with the Dodgers Mariners call. That was right now.
You know what?
Kev says Warwick Peter. I don't know if that was for his Raiders or for what that's
Peter
for.
Warwick sounds familiar. Yeah, I just don't know what he's talking about though. To be honest.
Kev, to explain. Also, Josh B, like hit the fast forward button. Like, come on, man. It's
But
Monday, baby.
I guess we just want to fill out the grid, and we'll just go with Warwick Dunn, right, for the 1,000 yards for the Bucks.
Warwick.
Oh, at the top.
Oh, sorry for the Bucks. My
Yeah.
bad. Warwick Dunn, like
Yeah.
Dunn.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Oh, the 2 R's.
Okay, 27.
Bang.
And then the 1,000 yards for the Chargers, Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon. 15%, dude, with the green hair.
Okay, and then let's see.
We got some photos. Josh B now saying Mike Piazza.
Come on, Josh.
And then, hey, honest, what's going on, dude? Kev Deuce says Tampa.
Tampa, but Tampa who?
I think Tampa for 1,000
Oh, it would have
yards.
been 1,000 yards.
Did
All
he
right.
mean Warwick Dunn? Is that what? Like, I don't know what.
Yeah,
maybe he
because there
meant
is
that.
a Peter Warwick, but I thought he was a wide receiver for Seattle.
Josh B, didn't he play outfield a few games? Josh B is like hit the fat. He doesn't know. He doesn't know actually.
Yeah,
Josh B.
he
He doesn't know what we're
doesn't
saying
know.
right
He
now.
doesn't
It's
know.
too bad.
It is tough to see.
I know,
honest.
dude. Somebody's got to let him know. Kev,
I
dude,
guess
let him know.
since I don't know in the score, we just want to fill out the grid. Go bottom left, Tyrod Taylor.
65,
and then another high one right above him, Matt Schaub.
Matt Schaub, dude. Look at that grin.
And then last one here, Texans and Bucks. Just thinking about this for a second. I was trying to think of, I guess go with Ryan Fitzpatrick. It'd probably be too high, but
Ryan Fitz.
boy.
It was 78%, dude. 255.
You know what? We're filling out grids, Tony. That's all that matters, right?
Yes, you're filling out grids. All that matters, and you started off real hot, dude. I mean, that's great. Like, what the hell?
No, because right. I mean, I feel like it was like we couldn't even fill out like the football grid when we started.
No,
So,
literally.
don't you think by the time we get to like mid-season, like we'll be churning?
Yeah, I think I will. Yeah,
Relative.
yes.
to
We'll
compared to
definitely
not like 300.
like like Pete Carroll and the Raiders will be in the right direction, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of the right direction, by the way, Josh B realizing, I was delayed. He said,
Wow, dude.
Yes, he was. Yes, you were, Josh B, but not no more.
So really, other than that, Tony, kind of crazy. Like 2 hours almost just flew by there.
Flew by.
Scotty Scheffler, champion again, 6th victory of the year, one-shot victory over Ben Griffin. Lanto Griffin, I don't think any relation, was in third at 17, but Scheffler snapping that streak of rounds in the 60s, had opened up with a 70, but didn't matter, went 17 under over the next 3 days. So a little warm-up here for the Ryder Cup, not this weekend, but next at Bethpage Black. So I think, it worked out. All the guys that are on the Ryder Cup played into the weekend. JJ Spawn had another nice performance. Is what has been a dream season for him. The U.S. Open champ finished with 6 under yesterday, 15 under for the tourney, solo 6. And Maverick McNeely tied for 13th, -10. Russell Henley, 9 under, tied for 19th. And I'm trying to think, was there any? Cantlay, tied for 30th, -7. Morikawa, -5. And I think that pretty much was it. Justin Thomas, 69th, +1.
There we go.
Juice for you with the Ryder Cup, or kind of distracted with the baseball stretch and the football?
It's actually interesting. I would say close to no juice right now for me for the Ryder Cup. To be honest, dude.
Though, Thorne, the pictures or no?
Yeah, no, I hope so. Yes, Thorne will be there. Bethpage, sick for him. I don't know. I don't know if it was because like there was the week off of the PGA and then you kind of have these tournaments in between and kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe PGA shoots himself in the foot for promoting the Ryder Cup so much right now, because it makes it seem like the tournaments now are kind of lesser than. And also, I don't know, I saw this advertisement on ESPN Radio for like watch parties in Times Square for the Ryder Cup. Get your tickets now, PGA event of the year. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, I don't know.
Masters.
Yeah, like how could you say this is the PGA event of the year? Like, I would honestly put almost every major ahead of it. Like, I don't know. Like, it just, maybe that's just me because I'm not like, I haven't been dialed into golf for decades on end or whatever, but I don't know. Hopefully when it does come, I will be more jacked up for the golf. Maybe it is because the Mets have been tanking. Football is kind of, starting to churn some wheels now. So maybe that's why. So I don't know. I guess we'll see when the time comes. What about you?
Yeah, no, I think once it starts, but obviously until then, it's kind of obviously that tournament. I mean, it's just with football, it's just tough.
Did you golf this weekend?
Did golf this weekend. Wasn't great, but did have a, I think 94 at Sterling, but covered against Reed with our bet. And yesterday was just too early, not enough sleep. Ended with a par, but like had like 5 sevens on the back, shot like 100.
What time was too early?
It was like 7:50.
Oof.
Yeah, but whatever. We'll be back out there tomorrow.
Yeah.
But great weather right now, kid. Definitely love it. And then really just a quick mention here, the college football, as expected, LSU number 3 moving to 3-0, 20-10 over Florida in shambles. Bill and Napier fired before Thanksgiving, most likely 1-2 now. And then you saw Miami, the beatdown over South Florida, 3-0, number 5 with Carson Beck. Carson Beck's former team, Georgia, 44-41 over Tennessee in overtime. And then we saw Texas, Arch Manning still struggling, but they do go to 2-1, beating UTEP 27-10. But I think the Arch numbers 11 for 25. Did have 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing through a pick as he continues to grow in his first year as a starting quarterback. Notre Dame 0-2, maybe season over, probably has to run the table. 41-40. Texas A&M, the game-winning touchdown, Marcel Reed throwing it to Nate Boekircher to give Texas A&M the win, the upset, 3-0. Notre Dame 0-2. So very disappointing there for Carr, for Freeman, Love, and the Fighting Irish. Vanderbilt with the big upset over South Carolina, 31-7. Number 11 in team in the country going down. Clemson 1-2. Dabo's seat getting warm, maybe. Georgia Tech 3-0, 24-21. Clemson now 1-2. And then let's see. Other than that, Alabama bouncing back over Wisconsin, 38-14. Michigan resounding over Central Michigan, 63-3. And yeah, Louisiana falling to Missouri here, 52-10. But wasn't a great college football week. A lot of mismatches to my dismay. And even looking at next week, I mean, Texas Tech, Utah, 17 versus 16. Michigan, Nebraska. I guess that should be good. Notre Dame should blow up Purdue to get their first win of the year. Florida, Miami, that should be a blowout. Napier maybe can't. Illinois, Indiana's okay. 9 versus 19. Kind of crazy that Fighting Illini are number 9. Michigan State, USC. USC projected to blow out there. And then Texas continuing their soft schedule after the opener against Ohio State will play Sam Houston. So we'll see if Arch Manning can live up to the hype here. But that is really all we have here. But I have to say, coming back strong, strength in numbers, Tony.
That's right.
And yeah, let's just get a W in Minnesota. We're all Rays fans for the night. But good to be back with all of you. And we encourage everybody to continue to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay and Costa, and the merch at DowntimeTV.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.